entertainment video. My name is Wood. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like the way that any of the information is being broken down, reviewed, analyzed, recap, preview, critiqued, and then hit the like button. Leave a comment. I'm just trying to spark conversation. I ain't really saying that I know that my word is the final word on all of this stuff. The Lakers, man. Oh, and then check for me on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify for my It's Always Personal podcast. Do me a favor there. This Lakers and Golden State game last night. I know I'm quick to get in my bag on complaining, critiquing, analyzing, hating. I'll admit it. So I want to start out with, I thought it was a good game, man. And it's probably it might be the first full NBA game that I watched this year, to keep it a buck. I thought it was a pretty good game. Shout out to my man Damian Adams of Damian Adams, The Real Deal podcast with Damian Adams. I saw he had a tweet last night. He lives out in Phoenix, Arizona, and thought of us brothers on the East Coast. We're trying to watch the game, but bruh, at 12:15, 12:20, I gotta tap out. So I walked away because I saw where it was going once the momentum shifted late. I saw where things were headed. Golden State without that big, without a significant lead, with under 4 or 5 minutes to go, I already knew what the deal was. But I get into bed and come back to the last 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and LeBron James, man. I'm not a LeBron hater, but I'm a Los Angeles Lakers hater. I can't stand the Lakers, but LeBron James is still the best option in basketball. Under 2 minutes or final possessions. I don't care what people want to talk about his shot, whatever. The majority of the times, LeBron James is going to get you a field goal attempt. Whether he shoots it or whether he passes it, there will be a field goal attempt. That was very anticlimactic that the Golden State, that they called out and ran the type of play that they ran, and we didn't even see a field goal attempt. And it was on, 2.1 seconds left. I don't know, man. I know it was some issue with Kerr getting the attention of the referees and whatnot, but poorly managed situational basketball. But getting to my hate and my complaining, the one thing that has been consistent throughout Steph, and shout out to Steph, because I had a lot of skepticism that he would deliver. He really hasn't been all that great of consistently. He hasn't been all that great of a postseason player. We've rarely seen the MVP caliber Steph. We've rarely seen that dude show up in the playoffs. A lot of times he's come down to like a 19 to 23 point per game guy in key series. They were down 1-3 against OKC. It's been times where Steph has been pretty small in the postseason. But one thing that has really pissed me off with Steph's play in the postseason, for him to be as touted as he is for his ball handling, his ball security in key playoff games is unacceptable to me. It's piss poor to me. Steph has 6 turnovers. Had some bad turnovers late when you really needed shots, field goal attempts. So he had 6 turnovers. Between LeBron and Anthony Davis, they had a total of 4. LeBron only had 1 turnover all night. Now, LeBron had his triple-double, but it was a very, it was a quiet triple-double, if that's possible. think 22 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, something like that. Switch, 10 or 11 assists or rebounds. But he hits the 34-foot shot at the buzzer to go ahead, to be up 103-100, which was ended up being the final score. So after he complained about, after he was making motions about his eye and his vision being messed up. So shout out to LeBron for coming through in the clutch. Hadn't had a lot of playing time lately. Hits a big shot. I always think LeBron is at his best when he doesn't have to think. When it's just he just needs to go. LeBron is pretty stellar. But getting back to Steph, man, almost 50% from the field. I think he was like 12 or 23. Well, so he was 50%, over 50% from the field. 6 of 9 from 3-point. He did miss a free throw early, I think, in the first half. Well, that's neither here nor there. But his ball security, man, you just can't dance around 2 and 3 defenders in the playoffs. And all the behind the back stuff, his dribbling has always been way too casual for me during the playoffs and key playoff series. I mean, all playoff series are obviously significant and crucial, but elimination games, and then from like the second round on, I just have never really cared for his ball security. What's going on, Jamal? So, elite, but like I said, man, he showed up. He had 35 points. He was consistent through most of the night. So I can't take much away from the guy other than the 6 turnovers, which is unacceptable. When you're the point guard, when people are talking about you as an all-time point guard, although he's a kind of a hybrid to me. When they're at their strengths, he's best when he's moving without the ball. And we all know that he touches the ball very little. One of my favorite aspects of his game is that he doesn't need the ball a whole lot. But again, we're talking about playoff basketball, when guys are motivated, when NBA teams do defend, you can't sit here and go behind your back and all the while dribbling. You gotta knock that stuff off. It pisses me off that it's been going on to this point in his career, and you don't work on it. You don't shut that down. So that's my one beef with Steph. Getting over to Draymond Green. I mean, goodness, how the hell did Draymond Green become Kendrick Perkins? I mean, the brother was 0 for 5 from the field, from 2-point. Well, he's 0 for 5 from the field and then 0 for 1 from 3. He shot that 3 late. That didn't have a prayer of going in. That was one of the last 2 or 3 possessions for the Golden State Warriors. But I'm looking at Draymond and I'm like, does this brother do anything in the offseason? Has he done anything in the last 10 years to add a single dimension to his game? Has he went and looked at any film of how he's not even one-dimensional? He is non-existent. This is a dude who had a 28-point game when LeBron came back from the 1-3 deficit or whatever. The man put up 28 points that game after coming back from the suspension. This man does not even look at the rim now with no type of confidence. He doesn't post up. He had 9 rebounds, but they were all defensive rebounds. He had 0 offensive rebounds. I mean, Anthony Davis still had his 20-something points, 22, 23 points, and 25 points maybe. The way that this team right here is built right now, you got to be able to help on offense, man. He doesn't post up. If he's inside the arc, if he's foul line below, he's worthless. He can't catch and shoot. He can't shoot off the dribble. He doesn't take mid-range jumpers. The dude is an absolute, he is non-existent on the offensive end of the court. How do you have all the accolades you have to this point in your career, and you're not even professional enough about yourself to go and work on anything? He only dribbles A to B. His ball handling has not improved. I just don't know how you can be. I don't know how you can be that limited. The man Steph is out here breaking his back, trying to compete and trying to do something. And you sitting over here just 6'7". I don't even know if he's 6'7", but you over here 6'7", limited point guard skills, just getting easy assists here and there. I think he had 9 assists or 8 assists, 9 assists. Maybe it was 8. But bro, as long as them two have been paired up doing their thing, and you have disappeared on the offensive end of the court in that manner, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And I like Draymond, but has the dude worked out in the offseason in 10 years, 8 years? He can't. He couldn't have. How do you not? How does nobody on the how does nobody? And Golden State has been a top-notch organization in terms of being smart and all the analytics and whatever. But for nobody on the coaching staff to get with this brother and say, hey, man, you know, you're in a different phase of your career. You're in a different stage, you know, where you are athletically and whatnot. Let's add a couple things to your game. I mean, hell, even Charles Oakley was shooting 18-foot jump shots. Even Udonis Haslem was shooting 17 and 15-foot jump shots. It's other dudes, it's other small forwards throughout the years who haven't been great offensively, but they at least took shots and made defenses somewhat respectable. But when Draymond gets the ball, self-check. You don't even have to worry about it. That three-pointer that he took at the end of the game, he was horrified to take that shot. Horrified to take that shot. Never get down on the block. Like, get you one go-to shot that you feel comfortable taking, and then work to get open to take it. Or they run plays for you to get to take it. But to sit here, like, he don't even make his man move around. He doesn't cut to the basket. He rarely cuts to the basket. That stat line is horrible, man. He doesn't get fouls called because he doesn't do anything positive with the ball. He's not driving to the hoop. So he's not even going to go to the free throw line and give himself opportunities there. Just a total liability on the offensive end at this stage of his career. If it's not a fast break, all he does is take up ball handling time that shifts over to him, and Curry can be freed up to do other stuff. You know, to run around and try to get set up for his shots, move without the basketball. That's all Draymond really helps with Curry. That's unfortunate. I mean, Draymond getting a lot of damn money to do nothing. So that was it, man. But like I said, all in all, I'm very. It take a lot for me to sit down and get an NBA. 2 hours of my time, 2.5 hours of my time. The game wasn't too bad. I don't think it was officiated. I didn't have many issues with the officiating. I thought it was great that they didn't give that they came back and didn't give the flagrant foul to Draymond late. I mean, they could have. I guess I really wouldn't have had a problem if they would have, but I thought it was good refereeing that they didn't. And it was an entertaining game until the last minute. This whole play-in situation that LeBron was critical of, that A lot of people took issue with him saying whoever created it needed to be fired. For all in all, man, I think it's good, because otherwise I wouldn't have been tuning in to watch a first round NBA game. I'd have went to sleep at 11:30. So I think it is, you know, it has introduced this collegiate type feel to the NBA with these play-in series, these play-in scenarios. I think that's been a good thing for the NBA. Of course, LeBron didn't want to fool with it in year 17 or whatever it is. Of course, if he finds himself there, however it came to be, of course he's like, man, this is some bullshit. But again, I think all in all, I think it's a plus for the NBA. Another shout out to Damian Adams. He made a comment yesterday. Check his channel out, The Real Deal with Damian Adams. But Ja Morant, he's another guy. He's got all the explosiveness and the power down and making the difficult shots and playing at 100 miles per hour. He got to work on his finesse. Like, he came down on the break. He had a questionable angle on the shot that he was taking, but he overshot the rim and hit on the other side of the backboard from like a 16 foot jump shot. You know, he just has to focus on again, off-season improvement. And I think, you know, the dude is gonna be all right. Right now we've been in this mixed up scheduling and whatnot with the start of the season and the off season being messed up. Give him a full off season to let him get up them 1,000 shots a day, and we see if it improves and whatnot. But I think he'll put in the work and he'll be okay. It's just right now, you know, he's trying to win and compete as a second-year player and really hasn't had a chance to go back and get in the lab and really attack the weaknesses that he does have in his game. But I think he'll be all right. But other than that, man, the NBA, I'm not the biggest NBA fan. I'm pretty much I tune in probably second round of the playoffs, maybe the Eastern Western Conference Finals, and then the finals. But and that's why, because the situations like I was saying earlier with Draymond Green, the lack of player development a lot of times in the NBA is problematic to me. And the fact that over the last 5 to 7 years, we continue to have the game continue to be driven off of field goal attempts, not shot making. It's all about shot taking. And you have all of these 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" guys who do nothing but hang out at the three-point line, and not a lot of them are great shooters. But the NBA isn't about long twos or the mid-range game. It's about taking open three-pointers, whether they go in or whether they don't. And to me, I'm just not a fan of sitting around watching inefficient play. And that's what the NBA has pretty much, that's become the thing, is just get out there and get up open shots. You know, guys shooting 33% from behind the arc, that's a good thing. But that's about it. Like I said, though, good game. Steph Curry, I would expect the dude to play, and that's the thing, we criticize and cook and flame Russell Westbrook for his play and his turnovers. We criticize the hell out of that dude for under 2 or under 3 basketball, his ball security at the half and then at the end of the game. Steph Curry's track record throughout the playoffs, I would love to see somebody take a look and see what his average turnovers are per game from the second round on and in the finals. I'm wondering if it's over 3 or 4. And as a dude that plays as well as he plays, as smart as he plays, having some of the greatest handles in the history of the game, it's just completely unacceptable that you have six that you have 6 turnovers. And it's the types of turnovers. Like, I know you facing 2 and 3 dudes, but you can't. I just can't watch you. I can't sit here and watch you dance around, going behind your back and being loose with the basketball. That's just not gonna get it. There's got to be a better way to attack those types of defenses. Get you some screens or something, or you got to do better than 6 turnovers. You got to. But other than that, man, just to close this out as I get ready to get in here to the gig, Golden State has been in an interesting situation where they've drafted some of these draft picks. Jordan Poole, they didn't even play Pascal last night, but they got these interesting pieces. We know Wiseman was out. If he's on the court, that's a much different game for them. They're not as undersized as they were last night, even though he was a rookie. But they've got some interesting pieces. It's just how these guys are going to develop. We know Clay is coming back, missing 2 years now. They don't have to completely rebuild or anything. They got some nice pieces to be, to contend over the next couple years, but we just have to see what happens. So anyway, man, I ain't gonna waste y'all's time. I thought it was a good game. I thought it was an entertaining game. Yes, as always, I was taking the underdog, so I was pulling for Golden State. I was impressed with the first half defense. A couple guys, Bazemore made some threes. Jordan Poole hit a 3 or 2. Good energy, and whatnot. But again, man, Draymond Green is just absolute liability. I mean, does the man know what a triple threat position is? Can he give a shot fake, 2 dribbles, and pull up? I mean, can he do anything on the offensive end? I mean, that's just ridiculous, man. I mean, that man make too much damn money and has way too much postseason experience, and he got everything, and to be out there 0-dimensional on offense, 0-dimensional, unacceptable. Anyway, man, let me get on out of here. Had to come in and speak on. I was interested if I'm talking about NBA. So, like I said, all in all, it was a good moment for the NBA. Hated that it had to go down that late on the East Coast, but hey, that's the way the scheduling works out. Have a phenomenal rest of your day. Let me get up out of here. Remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.